Welcome back, everybody. We are back once again. Today will be a short and sweet episode, and we'll cover some things like golf. Morikawa won again, and we'll talk about the NBA Finals as the Bucks have taken a 3-2 lead. So things are getting interesting here. Bucks in six? Question mark. And then we'll talk about MLB All Star Break. The home run derby, the All Star game itself, stuff like that, and then the recent Giants series versus the Cardinals as well. So 5 of a possible 7 games have been played in the NBA Finals so far between the Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks. And the Milwaukee Bucks are up 3-2 as they've won 3 straight. And now they're going to Milwaukee to try and close out the series and win the NBA Finals, give Giannis his first ring that he definitely deserves. But I'm feeling a little sad for this Phoenix team. They seem like they've lost all momentum, and I'm starting to lose hope for them and Chris Paul for winning his ring.
A couple of freezing cold takes thrown in there by you. One, Giannis doesn't deserve any ring. I don't believe.
What?
He's not. He's been around like 2 good years solid now, maybe like 6 years in the league. 2 good years of him actually producing about 30 a game. Chris Paul's been around 11, so I'd say he deserves it way more than Giannis.
I agree. He deserves it more. I'm just saying Giannis is a 2-time MVP with the Defensive Player of the Year under his belt.
I would even say Booker deserves it more than Giannis. Maybe even Dayton deserves it more than Giannis. I would even go on the stretch and say Campaign deserves it more than Giannis.
Like troll, troll.
Only person on this Bucks team that really deserves a ring is Pat Connaughton and Chris Middleton. The Bucks Flares. No, but in all seriousness, Game 5 was a great game. Probably the best game we've seen this series. Drew Holiday, MVP of that game, just with that great defensive play, and that lob he had was amazing. It was a great lob thrown in Giannis. It was perfect. So great, amazing, just standout play by Drew Holiday from defense to offense.
Yeah, he got the strip on defense, then transitioned it with a beautiful lob, great catch, great finish by the Greek. And man, what are your predictions for the rest of the series? Do you think it goes to 7, or do you think Phoenix closes it out? Do you think Milwaukee closes it out in Game 6?
I think the Phoenix Suns win this in 7. I think they're going to keep believing. I think Chris Paul is due. He's been struggling a little. He's going to have a game and a half, Game 6, along with a nice sharp shooting game from D-Book. I think Dayton will be a bit quiet on the point side, and then Game 7 is going to be DeAndre Ayton's game in Phoenix. Yeah, and I think it's going to go down to the wire, though. I really do think the Suns will take Game 6. They've lost 3 in a row. They need to get a win here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think either the Bucks win in 6 or Phoenix wins in 7. I don't see Bucks winning in 7 at Austin Stick Arena. I feel like they either take it right now in Milwaukee. I think just whoever's court it's at will win. So yeah, the home team is gonna win no matter who wins, I think. So yeah, that's what we got so far, but we'll see next week. So next week we'll know our NBA champion. So we'll see. We'll cover the whole series then. But yeah,
you saw those highlights of Drew Holiday. It shows you who wants it more. I think it's going to come down to ultimately. Does this Bucks team have it? What do they want? Giannis Antetokounmpo is a very solid player, but does he want it is the question. He struggled from the line all of Game 5. I don't know how clutch he is. I think Chris Paul will come in clutch. Game 6 is going to be huge. As you said, I totally agree with you. I did not see the Bucks winning this in 7. So I think if the Bucks want to win the NBA championship, they control their own destiny. It is Game 6. That's their game.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So let's move on.
Monday night, we had the MLB Home Run Derby. It took place in Colorado, and it was a pretty solid one of the best fields we've ever seen in the Home Run Derby. We had Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, Pete Alonso, Trevor Story, Joey Gallo,
Trey Mancini, and Salvador Perez.
And Matt Olson. It was a great octangle of 8 great stars of the MLB, and it lived up to the hype. First round we had Trey Mancini taking on Matt Olson, and I personally had Matt Olson winning it all. Trey Mancini upset Matt Olson and made it to the second round. So what do you think of Trey Mancini's whole run in this home run derby too?
I honestly didn't expect him to go far because I didn't compared to the other guys, I didn't see his raw power. I was kind of up there with them, and at Coors, left field's a lot deeper than right field, so I just it's harder for a righty, but he did really well. He made it all the way to the finals, obviously. So 2 righties made it to the finals, which wasn't what I expected. I thought a lefty would win.
Yeah,
I didn't think Otani would win. I feel like people kind of like Otani's a good hitter, but like him and Gallo are kind of like I don't know. I just like feel like they're not like built for the home run derby as like someone like Pete Alonso. Can't
yeah,
really explain it, but yeah, Pete Alonso back to back champs. They didn't have one last year, so 2019 and this year that's back to back. But yeah, he's claimed that he's the best power hitter in the league, and you can't really argue with it when he's putting up numbers like that in the home run derby. I mean, the best first round score we've ever seen. But it's not really translating in game this year. He's having a little bit of a down year as well as last year. So hopefully he can regain his 2019 form. But as for now, Pete Alonso's really proven himself in the home run derby, and so
definitely.
gaining respect from a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, we saw he played Salvador Perez first round, and actually Salvador Perez did a really good job. It's kind of unfair. I think it should be the four best numbers personally because Salvador Perez got robbed having to face Alonso. But Alonso, as you can see some of these highlights on your screen, he absolutely ripped these tanks, and he was so powerful. And shout out to his pitcher, Dave Joust,
Yeah.
so consistent. All the other ones had some bad pitches inside, outside, all over the place. This
Otani's
guy
pitcher is
was going right
terrible.
down the middle every single time.
Otani's pitcher was terrible. He was giving like Otani like low pitches. Otani needs them high and inside, and he'll get him out of there. But yeah, I mean, people don't realize that their bullpen pitchers are like one of the most is probably the most important part. Like all these guys have crazy power, so it's just if you get the pitches where you want them, you can get them out like every time. And Pete Alonso and David Gauss really showed that because they were consistently down the middle, and Alonso just got him out of the ballpark. So that's an
Yeah.
underrated factor.
Yeah, and we talked about the Otani matchup. He fell first round to Soto in the double overtime event. It was a great matchup. And then Soto fell to Alonso in the semis. And then Trevor Story beat Gallo first round. And the finals ended up being Alonso versus Mancini. And Pete Alonso is a big fan of cancer and beat Trey Mancini in the finals of the Home Run Derby to crown himself the back-to-back champ, as you said.
Shut up,
For
bro.
all the people that read the terms and conditions and don't understand sarcasm, we are joking. Shout out to Pete Alonso. Good job.
I'll go read the
Playing the
trend.
home derby.
All right. So, and then a little bit about let's touch on the Giants for a second. We just lost the series to the Cardinals 2-1. Um, it was not a very good series, but and it seems like the Cardinals really have our number as we've lost. We lost both series 2-1 games, so 4-2 on the season series in favor of the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was a tough series. I'm kind of done playing the Cardinals, and I'm glad we are. I think I've seen enough of John Brebbia on my screen. It kind of sucks for him because he's a former Cardinal. So we put him in like twice. The series was terrible both times. Got a loss today, I believe. Um, so yeah, it was tough. Cueto was all right. He was actually pretty good.
It
Desclafani was good. Webb was good. I mean, all three starter pitchers were
was
fine.
good. Our offense just couldn't get the bats going, man. Yaz was really good this series, but
The first game we were the best.
yeah, first game was nice. Then we fell in the last two.
It's all good. I'm not too worried. Done playing the Cardinals, so we move on to the Dodgers. Tough start to the second half of the season, 1-2. And for the All Star game itself, I was a little disappointed. Only one Giant got in, and they only got one at bat, so that kind of sucked. Gosman obviously pitched on Sunday. Spoiled people like Oliver, selfish people like Oliver, rooting for Gosman to pitch. So
So
you could, so yeah, and Posey was hurt, so it was a little disappointing. I mean, but Vladimir Guerrero hit a bomb.
that thing was pimped. Um, yeah, that was a bomb against Corbin Burns, who's been absolutely outstanding this season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right there. Now it's pimped, and he absolutely rails that thing.
yeah, and he just looked at it for a while, like he just stood there. And yeah,
Yeah,
that was fire. That was a good All Star game, but AL is getting a little too dominant. I feel like they kind of just try harder a little bit. Like
yeah,
Kevin Cash is like, oh, and so I mean, also I think what they should do is instead of having the two World Series managers, I feel like they should have the two best records on both sides. So it would have been like Gabe Kapler versus Dusty Baker or something. I think that would have been better, but it's fine. They're gonna keep it that way.
yeah.
But
I
Gabe
agree.
Kapler doing the All Star game would have been kind of sick.
Yeah, the All Star game is getting a little annoying. AL's winning every time, but I do not believe it matters for home field advantage at the World Series
It's
anymore. So
not.
that, yeah. All right. So there you have it for some MLB talk. We talked about the home run derby, which Pete Alonso won. the All Star game, which the AL won and Vladimir Guerrero won MVP, and the Giants, who are off to a tough start to the second half of the season. So
Yes.
that is your MLB talk of the night.
Yep.
All right. So over this weekend, Thursday through Sunday, the fourth of four, last major of the year happened, and Colin Morikawa won once again his second major in the last 2 years. So very amazing for such a young golfer. You know, he could be one of the greats at this rate. So Colin Morikawa wins again. This one was the British Open in England, and he won it pretty good, but it was a very quality finish. You know, this morning watching it very early, like 9 a.m., seeing the finish due to the late time in England, but Colin Morikawa, Louis Oosthuizen, Jordan Spieth, and John Rahm all there in the final four competing for that last spot. But Morikawa ultimately controlled his own destiny and got it. And very happy for Colin Morikawa, you know, Cal alum, but also, you know, the pain for Louis Oosthuizen. He's been so close to a major so many times. You know, he was in it last one in the U.S. Open, and he can't seem to find it. So when will he win one if he does?
Yeah, that's a good question. Absolutely class from Morikawa, the Cal alum, winning the PJ Tour in 2019, to winning the British Open in 2021. So uh, it's not done by that many people. So he's dominating right now by like a young guy, like you said. So putting the Golden Bears on.
Yeah, definitely. And he's obviously said he's super young, so huge, bright future. Didn't feel too bad for John Rahm since he just got his last major tournament. And then the other one was Spieth, who, man, Jordan Spieth, it is tough. He won it like Morikawa at such a young age. He won the Masters by
Yeah,
like a record margin, and he hasn't won since. And that is just so tough for him. But he's getting closer and closer every time, so I think he can do it
yeah.
again.
Like, won the Masters and it was kind of a sensation, and they kind of fell off. But he's kind of it seems like he's getting his way back up. So good for Jordan.
Yeah.
Um,
So it was a good finish with four pretty solid players, 3 stars, and Oosthuizen has been a solid golfer for years. So very good Open, and that caps off, you know, the majors of 2021. So the winners are Masters Hikari Matsuyama, PGA Championship Phil Mickelson, over age 50. You know, awesome for him. U.S. Open John Rahm, and British Open is going to be Colin Morikawa. So there you have it for the majors of golf.
so the CONCACAF Gold Cup is underway, and it's a lot of games have been played so far. So we're here to talk about it. Two groups, including the Group B that the U.S. is a part of, have finished all the group stage games. So let's talk about it and what we should expect for C and D for their last few games. So Mexico got off to a little bit of a slow start, tying Trinidad and Tobago, but since then they won both their games, beating El Salvador and Guatemala. So Mexico and El Salvador are going to advance from Group A, as they both won two out of their three games. And then Group B, USA won all three, which is awesome. But two of them were only 1-0 victories against Haiti and Canada. So I mean, there was a beatdown versus Martinique, but it wasn't looking too promising against Haiti and Canada, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. So this USA team is like, you know, kind of not the best squad. Obviously, they're all MLS players for the most part, and
Mhm.
they obviously are a young squad. But they looked very promising for Martinique. I liked Daryl Dyke up top alongside with
Right.
Hope. He looked really solid. You know, Giassi Zardes is one of the more veteran leaders on this team, and
Mhm.
a lot of USMNT fans aren't fans of him, but I do think he brings a good veteran leadership. I don't think he should be starting every game. Maybe in the Gold Cup, if he makes this World Cup team, I just think he would be a good veteran leadership team because we're going to be really young.
Yeah.
Um, and I think guys like Altidore will be too old. But yeah, I think the United States is going to make the finals ultimately. I don't think we're going to win. I think because Mexico has their full team.
Yeah.
But Mexico struggled a little bit. I mean, they tied Trinidad as we covered last week on the show. It says that they crushed Guatemala, and today El Salvador really impressed me. So I think this El Salvador team could maybe beat Panama and make the semis. And in Group D, I think Qatar could give Mexico a run for their money because this Qatar team's good. But ultimately, the Gold Cup. Boring. That's the Gold Cup.
That's it. I mean, it's just not that like they should just combine. Like you said, they should combine Copa America and the Gold Cup. Gold Cup is just so irrelevant. Like no, like USA and Mexico are pretty much the powerhouses of this. And it's just gonna stay that way. They gotta have some more spice to this. Like they have like French like territories playing. Like it's like, Come on, we can get, and then we have a freaking place in the Middle East randomly in there. It's like, come on, get some better competition here. So yeah, but yeah, USA is gonna win it all. No, it's gonna be Mexico probably, but USA, 9 points, only allowing one goal, and that was to Martinique. So
Yeah,
looking
definitely.
all right. I mean, we're not allowing goals, but we're not really scoring them either.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. But it's a good young team, good little learning experience, and we haven't lost a game in Concacaf in like a couple of years now, so that's good.
Yeah, it is good. All right, so
You just ended there, bro.
yeah, so let's move on to a guest speaker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, great episode today. I mean, it was solid. Last week we had one of the best sports weekends we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
This weekend it slowed down. I mean, there was one day where the only thing on was the CONCACAF Gold Cup. So, with the MLB CONCACAF Gold Cup, British Open, and NBA, there you have it. Another episode, another week, another episode. I mean, it's getting ridiculous how many episodes straight we've done every week. But we're
We don't
here.
miss. We don't miss.
The consistency is just unreal. But we'll be back next week. Expect a big documentary coming to August. Big guest speakers coming on. I mean, we got so much planned. It's getting ridiculous at this point. But yeah, great episode, and see you guys next week.
We'll see you guys next week. And shout out to our 2 new subscribers. We don't know who you are because you're anonymous, but we're at 55 now. So shout out to you guys. And shout out to new Instagram followers.